Making the challenge a priority. So everybody says they're busy. We're all busy. Everyone's got stuff to do. If you guys are in here, then I want you guys to make sure that you guys are committed to this 110% and that you guys are making this a priority. We'll have people that come in and go, I don't like to use Facebook. I don't care. So you're getting a Facebook. So that's how it works, because I communicate with you guys through Facebook, so congratulations and welcome to the Facebook community. So you're getting your ass a Facebook. So you guys, the goal is just try to dive in and follow the process and make sure that you guys make this a priority. If you guys make it a priority, then you guys are gonna have great results. I was talking to one of you guys upstairs, and she was saying that she started the last challenge at 140 pounds and ended at 118 pounds. She now has her husband here, was saying that she had to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. She did stuff she never thought she'd do, but we were standing upstairs an hour ago and she was getting emotional saying she feels so good. She fits into clothes she never fit into. So if you make this a priority, sacrifice a little bit, you guys are gonna be very glad that you guys did. How many of you guys have done a program in the past and lost weight and gained the weight again? If you're keeping your hand down, you're a damn liar. Okay, so, all right, we got a few liars up in here, but we've all done it, okay? So we've all gone through a program and we've all ended up losing weight. We've done a diet, we've done some sort of DVD, we lose weight and we gain the weight. Why do you guys think that is? Somebody chime in, what's the main reason?
Not staying consistent.
Okay, not staying consistent. Why don't people stay consistent? Excuses, okay, so basically it's a mentality. So the biggest thing is mentality. So when we did this years ago, I was just a very technical person. I've loved fitness. My first job when I was 16 was as a personal trainer. I had to use a fake ID to work at 24-hour fitness because you had to be 18. So I've been training since before it was legal for me to train. So I was very technical. This is what you do, be quiet and do it. And the more I did it, I realized in real life that doesn't work. That if no matter what's hung up on your refrigerator, what diet I put on your fridge, if you're not in the right frame of mind to put it into action, it's useless. It's a dead tree. There's nothing that's ever going to benefit you. So the big thing that I like to hit on before we start this challenge, I do it every single time, so anybody that's already been here and heard it, you just get to hear it again. But I like to go through basics of mentality to make sure that you guys are in the right frame of mind to tackle the challenge. The first part of it is taking the pictures. So a lot of people tell me, bro, you would have 1 million people in your challenges if you didn't force them to take those damn pictures, because those pictures suck. How many people did not like taking those pictures? Raise your hands. Oh yeah, it gets ugly. Oh man, you're in there the night before, you're sweating, losing sleep, like I'm about to stand in my underwear in front of a stranger, like what is even going on? What did I sign up for? It gets inside people's heads, and it's something that makes people not want to do this. The reason that we force people to do this is because there are so many of us that make excuses every day. We wear something that's flattering. I literally almost every challenge talk to somebody that has a certain avoidance of just looking at a mirror. People that say they take a shower with the lights off so they don't have to look in the mirror. Every day we do things, and to them that's not crazy. That's a part of their life, and we all find ways to avoid reality. And if you're gonna make an excuse every day because it's only an extra 2 pounds that you gained, or you haven't been able to fit into these pants, or whatever excuses you make, if you don't face reality, you're never gonna fix it. So it's an incredibly important part that you guys take that picture. Now on that front is certain people take that picture and then they beat themselves up. They go home and they're like, I look terrible, that was awful. That's not gonna help you either. That's not the purpose of doing it. The purpose is for you to say, I took that picture and I committed to this because I know that I wanna better myself, but I'm totally capable of doing so. I've done it in the past, I've done other things, and you have to be able to have a positive mindset going forward. So any of you guys that went home afterwards and beat yourself up, don't do that. Today you have to feel empowered that you guys can fix it and make sure that you guys aren't negative, because that's gonna prevent you guys from being able to do it. A lot of people, when you guys do the team, is people come into the challenge and go, who's gonna help me? How is, I hear them talk, I hear a lot of you guys talking to the front desk or whatever, it's like, how are they gonna motivate me? How are they gonna keep me encouraged? That is the fatal flaw when you go into this challenge, is even if you're somebody who right now has low self-esteem, who doesn't know what you're about to get into, who doesn't know how to exercise, feels intimidated, feels overwhelmed, it's still incredibly important that you put your best foot forward. Bless you. If you guys have that attitude of waiting for somebody to help you, you're gonna notice that a lot of the other people are waiting for the same thing. So it's so important for you guys to put your best foot forward, and if somebody puts a post up on your team page, comment on it. Be somebody that interacts with somebody else. If you guys are on that page, we've all done it before where we try to put ourselves out there to a friend or somebody else and we say something. and they don't respond. Nobody helps you. And then you feel even worse because you're like, man, I put myself out there asking for motivation or help and nobody responded. So always try to be that person to take 5 seconds and click like. Be that person that just comments something back that gives them a piece of advice, even if you don't know half of what you're talking about. Hey, you know, this food doesn't taste good. What should I do? You're thinking, I don't know, the food don't taste good to me either, but I throw pepper on it. Just say I throw pepper on it, you know? Just interact. Just put your best foot forward and try, and somebody's going to be appreciative, all right? So just always participate in the team. Also, thinking and speaking positively. So we'll have people that come in that are discouraged, and it's totally okay to say, man, I'm struggling. What's not okay is to say, this challenge sucks, it's terrible, we shouldn't have done it, we should all get drinks. We don't want to do that, okay? That's like sabotaging people, saying bad things, okay? So don't be that person, all right? So we don't want to go down that route. You guys don't come in and don't bring your problems to the team or to other people. Try to go to them looking for encouragement. So there's 2 different ways to do it. The next thing is addressing pitfalls. So the first time that I ended up doing a fitness competition, I had been a trainer since I was 16, and I had to be able to look in the mirror and say, look, I still am not in the shape that I want to be in. Obviously, I have something that's wrong. I'm not implementing things the way that I want to. So I had to look in the mirror and be honest with myself and say, every time I say I'm going to do something, it turns into next Monday. And then I'm going to do my cardio next Monday. And I mean, I am the king of Mondays. So it was going to be Mondays forever, and I never did it. So I had to say, you're a procrastinator. Next time you catch yourself saying you're going to do it tomorrow, shut up and do it right then, right that second. And I just got crazy with it, and even still now, Nadia will joke, and somebody will say something, and I'll just literally in the middle of the conversation start doing it, just so that I don't put it off until later. So for you guys, especially people that are busy, you guys are going to want to make sure you do that. Address the things that need to be addressed right away. If it's cardio, don't hit the snooze button 5 times, because the kid's going to start crying, or your boss is going to ask you to do something, or whatever is going to happen, and it's going to prevent you from doing what needs to be done. Also, just pitfalls in general. I want every one of you guys today, before you start this challenge, to look at every time you joined a gym, every time you did a diet, every time that you attempted to do anything, why did you not do it? And what you'll probably notice, because none of us ever stopped to actually do that, is you're going to find a pattern in all of those things. You're going to say, wow, every time I did this same thing, I sabotaged myself in this way. It's so important to notice that, because when you identify it, you'll see it coming and you'll stop it from happening again. You'll be able to tell other people on your team, tell your family, make sure I don't do this thing, okay? So I want you guys today, look at all of the past attempts, and you guys each are gonna have to identify your pitfalls. How many of you guys have already started coming to the gym, said you couldn't do something, and then the trainer asked you to do it and you were able to do it? And they say, yo, I couldn't lift that. And then all of a sudden they pointed it and you grab it. So that's gonna happen 1,000 times. If you give yourself the benefit of a doubt and you actually just try, you'll be surprised how often you succeed. If you guys, a lot of the time I'll say, hey, you need to deadlift that. And especially the girls are like, oh my God, there's no way I can do that. I'm like, you didn't even touch it. You like looked at it for like 3 seconds and assumed it's 1,000,000 pounds and you can't do it. So for you guys is just simply not saying can't. If a trainer asks you to do something, I want you guys just to put your best foot forward and try it. My first prep into a show, I had to diet through my birthday. So Nadia thought it was a good idea to invite all my friends out to a surprise party at BJ's and get me this big cake and have this big party and then go bar hopping while I'm eating asparagus with my hands. And it was torture. It was the worst birthday ever. And if you had asked me a year before that if that was possible, I would literally tell you for $1 million I just couldn't do it. There's no way I could make it through. But I put my best foot forward and said, this is what I need to do, gave myself the benefit of a doubt, and I made it through, and I ended up doing it. So for you guys, there's gonna be birthdays that are gonna come up, there's gonna be other things. Don't count yourself out, give yourself a chance, and I bet a lot of the time you'll prove yourself wrong for doubting yourself. The other thing that's huge is naysayers. How many of you guys have already had somebody say, oh girl, why are you doing another damn diet? You know you ain't gonna pay, oh God, wasting your money, oh Jesus. Yeah, it's your husband saying, oh God damn it, you're gonna buy another gym membership. Okay, so we all got naysayers. And the thing is, a lot of the time it ends up being people that are closest to us. So it ends up being our best friend, it ends up being our husband, our wife, it ends up being our family. So a lot of these people end up naysaying. When I first started trying to prep for a show, my mom ended up being my naysayer. She gave me a really hard time, and my mom would always be like, oh, don't you think it's unhealthy that you're eating all that chicken? I'm like, well, she's like smoking a cigarette. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on right now. I'm so confused, like I feel like I'm in like the Twilight Zone. But she would always say these things, and then once I had her start training, she was one of my first clients. She lost 100 pounds in 7 months, and once my mom lost weight, she ended up kind of opening up and saying, look, you know, the reason I said those things is I felt bad about myself eating a cheeseburger while you were eating a salad. It's more of their own self-doubt, doubting that they could do the same thing, those people that have their own insecurities, and they're putting those things off, because let's be honest, at the end of the day, nobody's really pissed that you're going to a gym. I mean, why would anybody really care? You know, if they're gonna naysay you, it's because they have their own doubts, their own insecurities. So what's really important is to keep those people at arm's reach during this challenge, but you don't need to, you know, disown those people. Those people aren't bad people, and I'll tell you right now, they're gonna be your biggest fans when you guys get in the best shape of your life. They're gonna be the first one that are in your inbox asking you exactly what you did and how you could help them. So don't let those people bring you down. I've had so many people that I've talked to that are like, I came to your gym 2 years ago, and I made it 1 week in, and so-and-so ended up discouraging me. And now I just finished this challenge and I finally feel the best I've ever felt. I really wish that I hadn't let them do that to me 2 years ago. So for you guys, don't let somebody else derail you from what you're trying to do today, especially if it's something healthy for you. You know, at the end, like I said, they'll be asking you for the diet. The next thing is gonna be when you guys wake up in the morning, you're doing cardio, when you guys show up here after leg day and your knees are buckling, when you're eating you know, cold fish out of a Tupperware while you're driving your car to work, there's gonna be a lot of things that are gonna be an incredible struggle. And I tell everybody, wake up in the morning with a good, you know, I look at it, every cardio session is an opportunity for me to burn more calories. I always try to put myself in a positive mindset. There's a lot of days my dogs are laying on me and it's cold outside, and the last thing I want to do is get up. And everything in me is just saying, this is so terrible. And guess what? It is just terrible. And there's no way around it, and you can't candy coat it that day. What I say is embracing a fighter mentality. When I was younger, I did martial arts, and when I first started, I remember the biggest problem was I was scared to get hit in the face. And there was basic instruction that stuck with me, and the instructor said, if you want to be good at this, you're just going to have to get hit in the face. The goal is to be able to hit somebody else more than they hit you. And that's going to be the same thing with this challenge, is to try to have more good days than bad, but there's going to be days where you're just going to wake up and get punched in the face. You have to be willing to have those days where it sucks. And you're going to have to be able to push through it, because the prize is worth it. The reward is worth getting punched in the face a few times. So for you guys, those days where you can't talk yourself into a good mood, where nobody else on your team can motivate you, you don't need motivation. Just tell yourself, I don't need to find a way around the wall. I'll put my head down and run right through it. I don't care if it hurts. I'm just going to do what needs to be done. And if it's a bad day, I'll wake up tomorrow and hopefully it's a better day. Also is the mindset, I hear people in the beginning of the challenge say, I can't wait till day 61 at all the stuff I'm going to eat. Oh my God, it's gonna be savagery. Oh, they're posting pictures of like hot Cheetos hamburgers and like all sorts of like pregnancy food. It gets wild. So that is the worst mindset. This is not a sprint. This isn't even a marathon. This is forever. So people have this mindset of when you get in great shape, that all of a sudden you're just in great shape, and then you get to go back to doing those things. And it's not. It's like anybody here that's in a relationship or married. Just getting somebody to be with you doesn't mean they're gonna stay forever. You gotta keep trying, you gotta keep working. So that's the same thing when you get in shape. You guys have to adopt these habits. It doesn't mean that you guys can't go out and have fun, but you're gonna probably have to keep exercising. You're gonna probably have to keep making good food choices. So if your mindset today is, I can't wait until this is over, you're done. Just expect to gain every pound back and be really disappointed. So don't let yourself get trapped into that. You can enjoy those foods now during your refeed meals that are worked into the diet. You guys can find a healthy balance now, and you guys can find even more balance after, but it can't just be savage eating and you looking at this as a finish line, and as soon as you cross that finish line, you're gonna eat everything you've ever wanted, or it's not gonna be good. Why do we do the refeed meal? So a lot of people say, I don't want a refeed meal. I'm just gonna eat fish and chicken. I'm just gonna kill it. I'm gonna lose as much weight as humanly possible. It does no good. If I told everybody in here, give me $1,000 bucks, I'll let you look exactly how you wanna look for 5 minutes. And then you're gonna go exactly back to where you're at. You'd say, that's useless. What does that do? How does that do me any good? That's the same thing of saying, I'm just gonna do the most extreme things possible to look good, because you're only gonna do it to look good for 5 minutes. You're not gonna look good for a sustainable period of time. And again, that's something that I realized over time is, People need to have balance. It has to be a balance between the psychological approach and the physiological approach. How your body responds to something and how you respond to something. If you guys go 2 months and feel so mentally deprived of something, you, at the end of this, whether your mindset is to cheat or not, you're gonna go crazy afterwards because it's just massive deprivation. So for you guys that wanna kill it, your goal should be, you don't have a refeed meal the first week. We go 2 weeks of you guys eating the new diet. And then the second week in, you guys get a certain amount of calories where you can eat whatever you want. You guys can work it in throughout the day, or you guys can work it into one meal, whatever you guys want. And the goal is for you guys to think of the foods that you guys craved during that 2 weeks. Something to give you some sort of mental relief. Something for you guys to not only feel more full, but to feel that feeling of satiety in all ways. To feel like you're not crazy craving anything anymore. That way that when you guys start back on Monday, you guys are gonna have not only more of an easy mindset, but you're also gonna look forward to the next refeed meal a week away. These short-term goals are something that are realistic. You could keep doing that on a regular basis. You could do that ongoing. So for you guys that wanna kill the challenge, I love that approach, but still please make sure that you guys do the refeed meals because it's gonna help you guys find a lifestyle balance and you can still get amazing results. Most of the winners from our challenges do every single refeed meal. They still follow the process 100% and they get great results, but they're able to maintain it afterwards, all right? We use more equipment than any group training program does. Most of the equipment that you'd see, like a leg press or a hack squat or a Smith machine or a cable machine, those things you would, to be put through those, you would have to do personal training. So for us to actually use them in a group setting is a great benefit. We can modify around injuries, we can target muscles in a different way. But if somebody lays, a lot of group training programs are just standing, so it's easier to get away with not having great gym etiquette. Here, if you lay down on that bench and sweat all over it, and someone else has got to lay down on it, it's pretty gnarly. So we don't want to do that. So I want you guys to please make sure that you guys bring a towel. Also, we share weights. So if I'm using a set of 25-pound dumbbells and Chris wants to use the 25-pound dumbbells, he can come over and say, "Can I work in?" That's just basic gym etiquette. He would work in. Him grabbing the weights and walking across the gym isn't working in, that's him stealing the weights, so don't do that, okay? Also, it's like basic stuff that I hit on that I wish I didn't have to, but would be like brushing your teeth is super dope. Also like putting on some deodorant, like all those things are super cool. If you guys could do those, that would be awesome, just extra points. What I told myself was I was gonna have a Facebook, and I was gonna tag all my clients, and I was gonna tell everybody that I was doing this fitness competition. And that, for me, I know that I'm competitive, I'm not a quitter, and that was gonna hold me accountable. There was no way, one, that I was gonna quit, and there was no way I was gonna stand on a stage in my underwear and look terrible. There was hell no, that was not going down. So that sense of accountability got me through a lot of hard days, and that's something that we try to have you guys do, is putting up an accountability post on your social media, telling your friends and family. Not only is it gonna help keep you guys accountable, but there's a lot of days where you're gonna be standing in the Starbucks line about to buy a scone and your friend's behind you like, "Oh, Jane, how's your challenge going?" You're like, "Great, I'm buying a black coffee." And it saves you. So for you guys is the accountability post can help you guys in a lot of different ways. So for you guys, I encourage you guys today to do that. And the other part is it's making a solid claim for yourselves. Most people that I talk to that try to get in shape have one foot out the door. I'm gonna give it a try. You've lost. No, you're not changing your eating habits and changing the way that you approach fitness and changing the way that you approach your fitness lifestyle by trying. It just doesn't happen. It's something that's hard and it takes complete dedication. So for you guys, if you have one foot out the door, I don't care if you're, and some people in here are trying to lose 5 pounds or gain 10 pounds of muscle. It doesn't matter what your goal is, you're not gonna get there by just saying, "I'm gonna try." Trying doesn't work when it comes to this stuff. So for you guys, making that accountability post is gonna be something that's gonna draw a hard line in the sand and make you guys do what needs to be done. Also, listening to one person, not many. So every time we have people start to go through the challenge, they start to look good. They start to put on muscle or lose body fat, and they start to look good. And everyone starts to chime in and they become a personal trainer. Your neighbor Jane, who does Pilates 3 times a week, has 15 different reasons why you should do things different. And what happens is people get confused and they start to listen and go, "Maybe I should cut out all my carbs. Maybe I should be doing an extra 30 minutes of cardio. Maybe I should do this." And the way that we design these programs, everything complements the other. It's the right amount of calories, it's the right amount of carbs and fats and proteins, it's the right types of foods. We don't suggest too much cardio, the types of cardio that we suggest. All of it has a rhyme and reason. And if it's not working for you guys, every week when you guys check your results, we make a personal change to your program. If you guys listen to 50 different people and do 50 different things, it's like going to the buffet. Macaroni and cheese is good and so are cupcakes, but if you pile them on top of each other, they're not very good. It's the same thing with fitness. Just doing a bunch of random stuff only messes you up. So for you guys, just follow the process. You guys are here. Give us a chance over the 2 months, and we'll make sure you guys get good results, and don't let other people's advice derail you guys. People come in and say, I'm ready to be starved. I know this is gonna be really hard, and I've seen how much weight people lose. I know I'm gonna be really hungry. Most of us are used to eating nutrient-void foods, and those things, we eat them periodically throughout the day. Most people eat 2-3 meals a day, and they're not foods that are very nutrient dense. So what happens is our body produces a hormone called leptin, and that gives us a feeling of satiety or fullness. The patterns and the types of food that we eat control how much that's released, and for most of us, it's not released properly because our body doesn't get enough nutrients. As soon as you start eating this, you guys will have your first meal and it'll be egg whites and oatmeal, and all of a sudden you're like, I can't even finish this. I feel like this is more food than I eat in an entire day. So some of you guys, if you guys feel that way, just know that your body hormonally will balance out. You'll start to feel better energy. You'll get through those meals a lot easier and feel great, but you have to do your best to eat them now. So even if you feel really full, try to eat the entire meal, and in 2 weeks from now, you'll be begging for more food. Your metabolism will speed up, your hormones will balance out, and everything will be good. If you're somebody who starts day one and you already plow through the food and you're hungry, good luck, playa, because this is gonna be rough. So, we sell muscle egg. The reason we sell the muscle egg is because eggs are the most bioavailable source of protein, low in calories. They're great for a fat loss type of diet that's also trying to maintain lean body mass. So they're a great tool in our diet. The problem is even people that like diet or that like eggs usually don't like to eat a dozen at a time. So somebody will say, oh, I love eggs. And the first day of the diet, they're like, bro, it's like a mountain of eggs. So for you guys that are challenged with eggs, the muscle egg just allows you guys, it's like chocolate milk. You can just drink it. You can pour it into your oatmeal and make pancakes out of it or whatever. So for a lot of you guys, that'll be a tool. So if you guys are already looking at the diet saying that you can't eat the eggs, that's a good substitution, and that's why we have them. Every week you need to take progress pics in the same place at the same time. You guys need to do your weight, and you guys need to do your few measurement points. It's so key, and about half of you guys won't do it. And it's such a crime to you guys' efforts, because what happens is halfway through the challenge you hit me up and say I'm not getting great results. And I'm gonna ask for your pictures, I'm gonna ask for your measurements, I'm gonna ask for your weight. The body doesn't change in one way. We're multidimensional, we could be losing fat, we could be gaining water, we could be losing lean body mass. The body changes in a lot of different ways. So it's super important that I have those things so that I can assess what the problem is, if there's a problem at all. I've had a lot of people go through the challenge and go, I need to eat less, I need to do more cardio, I haven't lost weight for 2 weeks. And as I look at things, I say, look, you've lost on your waist, you've lost here, your legs have gone up, you haven't been used to doing lower body strenuous activity like we do, you've broken down a lot of lean body mass and you're retaining water. Watch at the end of the next week, you're gonna lose 5 pounds. The next week they lose 5 pounds and they're so happy. Had I pulled a bunch of food away from them or had them do more cardio, that wouldn't have been a proper change for them. It's not what was needed, it was water. They didn't need to do extra activity. So for you guys, it's really important to have those tools so that I can help you guys make changes to your program if needed. So a lot of people say that they don't want to prep their food in advance. They want to make it fresh. They want it to taste really good, and every meal is going to be piping hot and it's going to be just made at that moment. You better have nothing else that you're doing for the rest of your life. That is it. Your full-time job is making and eating food. So if that's your plan, don't do it. Other people that talk about eating out, you're not eating out, okay? The goal for you to get great results is for you to control what you're eating. And every time you go out to eat, you don't know how they prepare it, you don't know exactly what they're doing, plus it's gonna cost you guys 10 times as much. So what you guys wanna do is go to Costco, go to other places. I want you guys to get all the food that's on the diet, and then you guys are gonna prepare somewhere around a week's worth of food, all right? You guys are gonna do your brown rice, you guys are gonna do all your chicken, you're gonna do all your proteins, you're gonna prepare everything that you guys can. so that you guys have it accessible. Now you guys can put it in the large gallon Ziploc bags and portion it out for the day if you have the time. If you're somebody who has a crazy life and you could have to run out the door at any minute, you should have it broken up into Tupperware of each meal, and it'll be labeled day 1, meal 1, day 1, meal 2, day 1, meal 3. That's all in the fridge, so at any moment, you know, the kid has to go to the doctor, whatever happens, you could grab 3 of the meals, throw them in a lunchbox, you leave, you handle what you have to handle, and you eat your food. Preparation is key for you guys to be successful. If you try to fly by the seat of your pants, not only you're not going to be successful, you're not even going to do it. The people that drop off of this challenge are the people that aren't prepared, and they see everyone else posting the first week, wow, I'm starting to feel better, I'm losing weight, look at my meals. They haven't even gone grocery shopping yet, and they start to go, you know what, I'm so far behind, why do I even bother? They start to feel overwhelmed because they feel behind the ball. So for you guys to feel good and start off on the right foot and start to build momentum, it's gonna be important for you guys to go grocery shopping and to prepare all that food. So we have 2 different types of cardio that we suggest. We're gonna post it on the page. Every week, it's an ascending cardio schedule. So it means every week, we're gonna be adding time on how you do cardio. So if the first week you're doing 20 minutes of HIIT cardio and 25 minutes of steady state cardio, the next week it's gonna say 25 and 30. So it goes up each week. For it to go up, it should be because you didn't hit the prior week's goal. So if my goal was to lose 4 pounds this week, and I lost 4 pounds, the next week I don't need to increase my cardio. So the goal is, there's a thing called metabolic adaptation. Your body adapts to the stimulus thrown at it. So just doing more doesn't mean you're necessarily gonna get better results. It just means that your body will slow the metabolism down. It's always gonna find a way to find balance. So for you guys, don't do undue amounts. So if that week your goal was to lose 4 pounds and you lost 3 or 2, or you started to feel like the cardio got really easy and you need to add the extra 5 minutes, then that means you would do so the next week, all right? So it's basically for each person. You guys don't want to just add the 5 minutes just because. Also, the HIIT cardio is pretty simple. The way that HIIT cardio works is it's sprint and recovery. So a 1-to-1 ratio would be, I'm gonna sprint as hard as I can until I'm pretty close to death for 30 seconds, then I rest for 30 seconds. The rest could be walking, jogging, laying on the floor, praying to Jesus. Whatever you guys need to do, you're gonna rest for those 30 seconds and you're gonna do it again. That would be a 1-to-1 ratio. A 1-to-2 is, if your cardio is not very good, then you could do 30-second sprint with a 1-minute recovery. So what I want you guys to start with is a 1-to-1 or a 1-to-2 ratio, all right? And the way that it has to work is, the cardio is where a lot of people fail, is I'll watch somebody do HIIT cardio, and they're doing like a level 3 jog on the treadmill, and I'm like, is that your cool down? They're like, no, that's my HIIT. Like, HIIT should be literally, you're circling the drain of death at the very end. Like, you're counting down, like, I've got 5 seconds, but I just may perish. Like, I might not make it through the last 5 seconds. That's how HIIT cardio should work. It's gonna be lower duration, so you have to make it count. And think half of the time is gonna be resting. So when you are active, you have to work. You have to make it count, all right? So the other thing is gonna be picking something you're not good at. If you're a runner, don't run. Your body's already efficient at running. Do something new, something that's gonna challenge you, all right? If your goal was to be a great, great runner, I would have you run. Your goal is to change your body. So to get your body out of its comfort zone, you guys have to do something that you're not good at. So that's gonna be HIIT. The other one is gonna be steady state. So the steady state cardio should be, say, a full incline on the treadmill. No one should be walking at a flat incline. So you'd be on a full incline on the treadmill, walking to where you can only say 3 words without taking a breath. If you're walking your dog and texting your friend, that ain't cardio. That's you walking your dog, texting your friend. So if it doesn't feel like cardio, if you don't feel challenged, it's not cardio and it's not challenging you. So when you guys come to me and go, why am I not getting in good shape? If that's your cardio, you already answered it. That's it. That's why. You're not working. So make sure every session counts. So when we put it up, we're gonna have a mix of the 2. So what I want you guys to do is find a good mix of the steady state cardio and the HIIT cardio. The fight camp class would be considered HIIT cardio. It also would eat into some of your steady state. So if my goal was to do HIIT cardio in the morning and then steady state cardio at night, if I was doing 2 sessions, and I go into fight camp and I burn 800 calories, it's gonna reduce the amount of steady state cardio that I have to do. So we're gonna put up on the page, it's gonna say 30 minutes or 300 calories. So it's a basic equation, and the goal is to try to find a balance between the 2, all right? So basically, if you did 30 minutes of cardio and you burned 100 calories, again, that's you not doing cardio. So it should be somewhere in that balance, but if you end up doing fight camp and you burn 800 calories, and your goal for the day between the 2 cardio sessions was 600, you're already good. You don't have to do another cardio session. Also for your steady state cardio, we prefer to do it bundled. So like I wear compression shorts, and then sweats on over it, and then I wear a regular shirt, a sweatshirt, and then I wear my, my hood on and I pull the drawstrings. I also wear a neoprene sweat belt. So when I do my cardio, I shoot videos on the challenge page, and so I kind of go through the challenge with you guys, and you guys will see I'm sweating like a savage. And the goal for that is calories are basically a shortened part of the full word, which is kilocalories. And it's expenditure of those calories through heat. And when you increase your core temperature, you slightly increase the calorie burn. Now, a lot of people will say, no, you're just, you know, if I step on the scale, isn't that just water weight that's lost? For that moment, yes. For that day, that extra bit of weight that you lost was only water. But over a period of 60 days, doing cardio 1 to 2 times a day, if you burn an extra 8 calories, 15 calories, and you add that up, that could be an extra pound that you lose, 2 pounds that you end up losing, 5 pounds that you end up losing over a period of over 2 months. So the goal is for it not to prevent you guys from working hard enough in the cardio. So if you guys are doing HIIT cardio, I don't want you guys to bundle up to where you guys can't perform the cardio because you're so hot. So for most of the time, just think it would be for steady state. But if you do it for the HIIT cardio, make sure that it doesn't stop you from actually working as hard as you guys could. It's normal to feel weak during the workout. So some people will come in and say, man, I normally squat 150 pounds. You know, I can only squat like 95 pounds, and even that feels really hard. Being glycogen depleted, utilizing body fat as an energy source is okay. It's healthy as long as it's not done to an extreme or for an extended period of time, but you don't run optimally on that. So you can perform, but you're not going to perform at your best. So it's normal to feel that way. The problem is certain people think that it's normal to stand up and see stars or feel like you're going to pass out. That's you having low blood sugar, and that's not good. And I don't need you guys passing out and falling and hitting your head. So if you guys feel really dizzy or incredibly weak, then you guys would definitely want to reach out so we can make adjustments and add calories to your diet. If you come in and just start to feel like you're not as muscular or not as strong, that's totally normal, so don't think that that's weird. A lot of you guys will come in and say, I'm ready to kill this challenge, I have a bad shoulder, but I'm just going to do this shoulder press for the next 5 minutes anyways. That's a bad idea. Pushing through the challenges of a hard diet, pushing through the challenges of not wanting to do that last sprint for your cardio, those are things you should push through. Pushing through an injury is not a good idea. So you guys, if anything hurts, always talk to the trainer, make sure that we make a modification. You getting in great shape over 2 months and then having so many injuries that you can't continue after does you no good either. So make sure, everybody that does this challenge is always super motivated. I love the motivation, but let's make sure that we push through the right things and that we make modifications for the right things also. So listen to your body, don't overtrain it, and don't push through injuries. We post every day. I do a cardio video in the morning and hit on different topics that you guys might be going through. So try to relate to you guys. I shoot my cardio videos. I also put up different tips. I put up different stuff that's going on throughout the challenge. We post stuff about if anything's rescheduled. So it's incredibly important for you guys to be checking the challenge Facebook page, not only for the stuff that we put up that's additional, but just the actual stuff that's going on in the challenge. A lot of that's communicated that way. So make sure you guys utilize the Facebook page. Also, the reverse diet meeting, people see that on there. The reverse diet meeting goes over how you guys transition out of the challenge, how you guys incorporate other foods, basically the mindset and the way that your body works so that it prevents you guys from rebounding afterwards, so that you have the proper tools and education to do it. It's not incredibly exciting, so people are like, why would I want to do that? But I'm not charging you for it. I don't get paid for it either, and I end up doing it. So it's obviously something that I think is really important. So I really want you guys to make sure that you guys take the time to show up to that reverse diet meeting. It's short. We're not here for a long time. It ends up being like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. But it's going to be really important stuff that you guys are going to be able to take with you afterwards and help you guys continue this and not make the same mistakes you may have made in the past.